Alright, so today's video we're going to be playing CHIMERA Runick. This deck is super fun to play in the brand new Link Infusion event. This is what I used to do the whole entire climb. CHIMERA Fusion going into the CHIMERA King, using the effect of Gazelle in the graveyard to also get the illusion combo started. Just starting it was a really good starting hand when you open up enough pieces to go full combo, as well as get out the illusion part. Now you go to Sword Knight, you use Big Baphomet, so you get 2 searches for 1, which is really good. You're gonna use I'm gonna use Freezing Curses here to get out Hugin, to also set myself up for Runick plays. Discarding that effect failure, I could have also discarded the CHIMERA Fusion, but it's fine. And using the CHIMERA King of Mystical Beasts as well as the Baphomet to go into the Big Baphomet, and then special summoning Sword Knight, which will give me a free special during the other part of the combo. We're also going to use Runick Fountain as an extender because we are going to be drawing off of CHIMERA Fusion, or off of Guardian Chimera. It showed our opponent was on Altergeist. Our full combo, our opponent decided to forfeit. A quick little game that just showcased what the deck could do. Alright, my opponent is going first. We open up only Runick, so let's see what we're going to do. And my opponent is on Elemental Hero. We have a lot of negates and a lot of spells. So I'm going to try to negate. I'm trying to get out my Hugin right away, using the Hugin effect to search for my Runick Fountain. Unfortunately, my opponent does have the Ash for that. My opponent's now going to reveal using the mass change, so he's going to be sending that Runick tip to the Banish Zone instead, which will also get us the Runick Fountain. So we're down a spell, unfortunately, but we'll make do. Next up, we're going to see him banish a random card out of hand. I'm going to use the Flashing Fire just so he doesn't hit my Elemental Hero, or it doesn't hit my Runick Fountain or my Flashing Fire. He hits Destruction, which is completely fine. Looks like my opponent's going to Contact Fuse here during the end phase, which is going to use Malicious and Mass Darklaw from hand to get out a Destroyer Phoenix. He's going to end phase. He's going to try to pop my field spell. It's not going to work. We do have the Freezing Curses in hand, so he's going to get back his Burning Enforcer, and we're going to use the effect to get Sleipnir, which will trigger us to draw 3. We draw enough to do something with CHIMERA Fusion, and Runick Slumber is going to help out as well. We're going to use CHIMERA Fusion to fuse the Sleipnir and the Egypt Chain to go into combo. Our opponent's going to surrender on the CHIMERA Fusion activation. Alright, our opponent's going first. We open up a really decent hand, a bit of Runick and a bit of Illusion. Opponent's going to be playing Scareclaw. Scareclaw is very valuable in this meta. I've seen a lot of it. The most popular decks I've seen is Scareclaw, Chimera, and Altergeist. So we're going to see him go through some generic Scareclaw combos using the Rhino Heart to get a card that will make his cards untargetable, as well as have that Meek in hand and Tearlament Grief to get rid of the Visa Starfrost. Now he's going to go into a Link 2 here. He's going to go into Cross Sheep. Cross Sheep is very valuable since you can use Vsauce and the Rhino Heart to go into the Astrolabe, which will get you pretty much a 4-card combo for no reason at all. He's also going to trigger the Meek Destruction, which will also get him another Meek, which he's honestly just keeps on plussing, which is really nice. He's going to use all 3 of these materials to go into Scareclaw Tryhard, which isn't good for me, but we will make do. He's going to get the Begone, and as well as search for the Scareclaw Kashtira, which is another monster. He also has Pot of Desires to draw 2. He's in a really good spot. Kashtira, he's going to use all 3 of his materials on field again to go into another Tryhard. So 2 Tryhards, pretty hard to out, but he's also going to bring back that Scareclaw Kashtira with 1 card face down. Let's see what we can do. Imperm is a really good draw, but I didn't realize when I did it that unfortunately I cannot target the card I want to, since that spell is on field. I'm going to use Golden Droplet to get out Hugin and use Hugin's effect to get a card. Looks like Imperm was the card face down, which is unfortunate, but we can play through it. We'll make do. We're going to use Mirror Sword Knight effect to continue the combo, tributing off for Berthomet, and Berthomet's going to search for Gazelle and a Chimera Fusion. We're going to use Chimera Fusion. I'm going to use Gazelle and Berthomet to go into the Chimera to take a card out of hand, and also renew my resources with Gazelle and Berthomet. My plan is to use Guardian Chimera to get rid of that spell and use my Runick spells to carry me for the rest of the way. Nightmare Magician's also here. We're going to use that to get that into the graveyard. Chimera Fusion right away now to fuse my 3 targets, Hugin, Chimera the King, and Nightmare Magician, into Guardian Chimera. Guardian Chimera is here. We're going to use its effect to pop the 2 spells, and we also draw a Nightmare Patchwork, which is really good. We're going to use that to get an Edge Up Chain and a Polymerization. Use the Polymerization right away to fuse Edge Up Chain and Guardian Chimera into Magnum the Reliever. Magnum's going to get us another draw. Edge Up's going to get us another card. Very good. We're going to use this to banish or renew the spell. We're going to use Flashing Fire to pop 1. Looks like my opponent has Scareclaw Arrival. We're going to set the other 2. We're going to take the card out of my opponent's hand. He's going to mill 2. Nothing too crazy off to the mills, but we're doing really good with Interruption. I thought Flashing Fire, because the effect is a little bit worded weird, I thought that would out the effect. I should have used the other Runick spell first. Looks like he also had a negate for my Sword Knight, but we're going to use Polymerization to destroy that Kashtira monster, and also use the effect of Chimera Engrave to get a Berthomet onto the field. So outing that was a big one of our problems. We're going to use the Flashing Fire. It's still going to out one of the Tryhards, which is really good. He's still going to get some really good cards in the meantime. Berthomet's also going to be able to search for Chimera and Chimera Fusion. He's going to link off into a spell. He's going to choose Scareclaw Lightheart. I decide to not use my Freezing Curse for that. He's going to go for battle and go for 1. I don't believe we can go to battle here, but I'm not for sure. I'm going to use Frightful Patchwork to get me a Polymerization and Edge Up Chain. Next up, we're going to use Chimera Fusion to fuse Gazelle and our Big Winged Berthomet into Berthomet the Mystical King. They're going to be switched to defense mode, which is fine, but we're going to send a card and our opponent's going to surrender off of that. We also had Runick Tip in hand. It was just a grind game and our opponent didn't have enough. All right, we are going first with a huge amount of gas. We're going to use Cornfield to get us a Sword Knight. Honestly, even with all of this gas, we still want this Sword Knight to resolve and get us the Berthomet. And it does. So we're off to the races here. All we need is 1 copy of Chimera Fusion, and it's successful. We're going to fuse together the Edge Up Chain and Gazelle into our hand to get us a Patchwork into rotation as well, which Patchwork will search us a Polymerization, so we'll have another fusion during our turn. Gazelle's going to get us an Illusion, while Chain is getting us that Patchwork. We're a really good spot. We did draw all of our Gazelles, which is fine though, so our Berthomets aren't going to be as powerful, but it doesn't matter. Polymerization is here. Edge Up Chain is back into rotation. Chimera Fusion's also here. I'm hopefully going to save that for backup, because I feel like Chimera Fusion is a good card to react during your opponent's turn. But Berthomet is going to be the next card I choose to summon, and we're going to use Berthomet, small Berthomet, to get out Sword Knight, which Sword Knight will renew a resource as well. Berthomet is also going to send a Cornfield because we didn't get a chance to use that. We're seeing our opponents on Runick. With 2 cards face down, our opponent's going to surrender on spot. We had so much gas. I really am not surprised by that surrender, but it nonetheless was a good duel. All right, going second, no reaction during my opponent's turn, but a good amount of gas per se. Looks like we're going to be seeing one of those Altergeist matchups. Altergeist was a really popular deck during this. He's going to summon out Hextelia. I really don't know the deck well, but I know it's a popular deck and is decently good. It isn't meta or anything, but neither is Chimera, so we're going to see how our opponent does. We're going to get a Chimera Fusion in hand, which is really good. We're going to use a Polymerization to start off. Our opponent's going to Solemn Polymerization, a really interesting Solemn, but hey, if that's what you want to do, I'm fine, because I also have 2 Chimera Fusions in hand. So that was a kind of waste of a Solemn on my opponent's part, but we're going to fuse together Egypt Chain and Gazelle into Chimera, which Chimera is going to be able to get a card out of my opponent's hand, and we're also going to add 2 off of this fusion. Now we haven't even did the full combo yet, and we have Chimera Fusion and Nightmare, so chances are we can get Nightmare Magician on field as well. I'm in a really good spot in my opinion. Cornfield's going to get us the Sword Knight, so we're off to the races with the generic combo. Patchwork's going to get us another monster in Egypt Chain and Chimera Fusion, which I'm going to use right away to fuse 3 cards into Guardian Chimera, kind of going for an aggressive play, but with Polymerization being in the graveyard, I'm not scared whatsoever. He's gonna burn himself for more life points, big damage, but that's fine. Chimera Fusion isn't gonna resolve, or Guardian Chimera is not gonna resolve, but we still have Chimera Fusion as well as Polymerization. Big Winged Baphomet is here. We're gonna search for 2 Gazelle and a Chimera Fusion. We have a huge amount of fusion gas. I'm still not worried whatsoever, especially because now we're gonna be able to go into Big Baphomet and also get our Nightmare Magician into rotation, which is enough lethal in its own. This game's over with that. We also have Polymerization and Chimera Fusion for another fusion summon if we needed it. Cornfield just to get another negate, just in case this doesn't go our way. We're going to steal his Hextia and attack directly with the Fusion Baphomet for game. Just a quick turn too that just... he didn't play his interactions right, and also we had enough gas just to play through them. Very good duel. All right, this is an interesting hand going first. We opened up the Sword Knight and the Baphomet. I'm still going to go for the Baphomet just because I really want to get as much gas as I can. Gazelle, sometimes that bites me in the butt, but Chimera Fusion resolves, so the big Baphomet in hand will be used sooner or later. So I'm not complaining. Chimera is going to be summoned. We're going to use it as the last interaction to kind of protect all of our other interactions. So not too bad, taking a card out of my opponent's starting hand, as well as adding a Cornfield and summoning a Sword Knight back. We're going to get Chimera Fusion back into the hand as well. We're going to use Cornfield before that to get a Sword Knight into hand. We're just extra cards. This is a really good spot. We take out a Talents, which honestly is a dangerous card, so I'm not upset about that getting removed. Feather Duster is kind of unfortunate, but we will use Chimera Fusion right away here, and we'll lose an Imperm out of this situation, but I'm going to fuse together a Mirror Sword Knight and Big Wing Baphomet from hand to go into another Big Baphomet, and Gazelle's also going to come out as well in this combo. We lose an Imperm, but we're going to get a huge amount of plussing here, as well as Illusion is going to bring out a Cornfield since we have some extras in there anyway. So we still have both of our negates on board. We also have a huge amount of plays. Looks like my opponent is on Branded, even though it's heavily nerfed in this. But Mirror Sword Knight's going to be able to negate the Fallen of Albaz. He's going to try to fusion, and we have the Veiler. So we had just 2 perfect cards we needed. Didn't even need that Imperm and stuff. So our opponent is going to lose this interaction. 2 negates for 2 activations. That's what I like to see. Honestly, stopping him from that. He's going to try to attack Cornfield, but he didn't read that Cornfield cannot be destroyed by battle. And to finish off this game, all we'll have to do is use some of our cool spells. Chimera Fusion. And our opponent's going to attempt to fuse again. I'm sorry, I do not want to let you fuse. I want to go to battle and win this duel. And that is where our opponent's going to surrender, just because he doesn't want the fusion to go through. Alright, going first, this is an interesting hand. A lot of Runick, but just enough illusion to get the illusion started. Honestly, could have baited out the Runick, because the illusion is the stronger engine, but Big Wing Berthamit is on field. Unfortunately, our opponent has the imperm, so I was kind of right. I should have baited it out a little bit more, but I feel like during the process of this game, I valued the Hugin more. So we're going to use Hugin, get ourselves a spell card, and we're going to see how far we can go. Flashing Fire is the card I'm going to pitch to use the Runick Fountain and go for the Runick tip. Our opponent is on Memento, which is an interesting archetype to play in this. I wonder how playable it is. We're going to get a huge amount of cards. Patchwork is really nice. This is going to give us the chance to fuse right away. We're going to fuse together our Big Wing Berthamit and Hugin to go into a Predaplant Draco Dysplasia. We're going to bring Sword Knight back to the field as well, and we're also going to use the effect of Flashing Fire to bring one more card. Now we also have another Flashing Fire in hand. We're also going to use Sleipnir's effect to get us a monster, as well as Big Wing Berthamit from our deck using Sword Knight. So we're in a really good spot. We have a lot of fusion material, as well as two pieces of interaction. We're going to use Valor on the first interaction. Honestly, I kind of got trigger happy. Looks like I did semi get punished for it. Memento is going to bring out a different monster in its stead, and we're going to see that our opponent's going to add the same exact monster to the hand. Looks like he does have the horse. I feel like Flashing Fire was a good choke point here, so I do it to also draw two cards. Not too bad. Our opponent's going to not have anything else. Unfortunately for me, I'm not going to have anything else either. We're going to fuse Ejim Chain and Gazelle to go into a Berthamit. Berthamit is here. We're going to use Berthamit effect to go get us a Patchwork, as well as Gazelle to get us an illusion, and the fusion to send probably the Nightmare Magician to the graveyard. Alright, Chimera Fusion's also going to be recycled so we can play that. My battle phase is skipped. I was really testing if I really was learning how to play Runick during this. So I did misplay not setting the Chimera Fusion, but I feel like we'll make do. Especially because he has to target my spell card to activate his effect. And that means Darkblade is going to get stopped with the Cornfield. He does have this horse thing again, and horse is going to activate. We're going to use Sword Knight here to negate that. Really just trying to stop my opponent as much as possible. He's going to end his turn there. Looks like our two negates were just enough. All I need to do is switch a monster to attack mode, go Chimera Fusion, using 3 cards to go into Guardian Chimera, and we go right to battle right after that. Battle phase, we go to battle with our fusions, and we end this game. It's interesting how these engines work together, but they also have their contradictions. Nonetheless, it's a really fun time playing it, and the deck is super cool and just really resilient. Alright, going second. No interaction for going second, but we'll see what we can do. We did open up a good amount of Runick cards. Our opponent's on Sky Striker. This was a cool one I saw. He did see a Sky Striker card, which is really good for him, so he's going to get the benefit of using that field spell and adding that Ray to hand for free. Ray's going to go into Shizuku, and Shizuku's going to end his field with also adding another card to hand as well. Now we're going to see what we can do here. It's going to be pretty simple in my opinion. We're going to use Cornfield, try to bait out any negates. It doesn't look like our opponent's taking the bait. Patchwork is here as well. We're going to use Polymerization and Ejim Chain to give us the Big Wing Berthamit Fusion. We're going to fuse into Berthamit. I honestly could have did a different order, which I should have, but we live and learn. I feel like I'm just going to go for a finishing move here anyway. We're going to use that Sword Knight and Cornfield to go into Berthamit to search for something. Looks like he's going to use the Widow Anchor, but Cornfield is on the field with us controlling a negate. And making that Baphomet resolve, pretty much guaranteeing us the victory. Chimera Fusion with the 2 monsters on field to go into Chimera the Illusion Beast. And these 2 are that's gonna guarantee us the game, but I'm just getting a little bit of backup plays just in case. Because we're gonna take 1400, he's gonna reduce to 0, and then he takes 2 more 3100 attacks, and then 1 more for game. Just a little quick OTK action. Didn't have to show any of the Runick parts, but honestly, I love this deck. I really enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys in the deck profile in just a second. Alright guys, so this is the deck of choice, Runick Chimera. I really love this deck. I love the Chimera engine as it is. I've shown it in another video with Branded. I do think the Branded engine is really cool too, but they banned a significant amount of the cards in this. So the Runick engine came in clutch. They also got rid of Super Poly to 1, so I didn't feel like running Super Poly targets. I really just wanted to take advantage of generically good fusion cards. And a few times it could come up with Starving Venom as just an insane big monster. But we didn't ever have to go into that. You're playing a good amount of Runick spells in Droplet and Smiting Storm. You can change the Runick odds if you wanted, but I feel like these are the kind of perfect situations. I really enjoyed this deck. You know how good Sword Knight and Baphomet are alone in the Illusion archetype, but when you throw in cards like Runick to draw 3 during your combos with Guardian Chimera as well, I really like the play going into Guardian Chimera on the 2nd turn with Runick Fountain, because you could possibly draw into one of these Runick spells, kind of drawing into Interruption, which I thought was really interesting. As well, they did only card they did hit in the deck in regular the Fusion Festival was the Guardian Chimera, but at 1 it's still fine. It just makes your plays less greedy. I hope you guys enjoyed the deck. Make sure you leave a like and subscribe. We're on the road to 3,000 by the end of the year. I really think we'll do it and exceed our goals, but I enjoy making the videos for you guys. As long as you keep on enjoying them, I'll keep on making them. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a good one.